Never forgot to give me a double cheek kiss and a little hug. Umntwana was the epitome of respect, love, loyalty, kindness, and ubuntu, while always choosing to see the best in people no matter the circumstances. My grandfather taught me selflessness and how to think about others before myself and to always stand for the truth, even if it makes you unpopular. I would not be the young woman I am today without him and his influence. I have never known a world without him. And his voice, extreme understatement. Somehow it all still feels like a dream. To many he was umntwana, but to me he was my grandfather, who never forgot to give me a double cheek kiss and a little hug. Umntwana was the epitome of respect, love, loyalty, kindness, and ubuntu, while always choosing to see the best in people no matter the circumstances. My grandfather taught me selflessness and how to think about others before myself and to always stand for the truth, even if it makes you unpopular. I would not be the young woman I am today without him and his influence. I have never known a world without him. And his void will never be filled in my heart and my soul. To my mom, AKA Nana Gamasoso, thank you for loving my grandfather as much as you did. You looked after him, cared for him, protected him with everything you had. Thank you for keeping your promise to Kumkhulu that you would look after him and make sure he never lacked or needed for anything at any time. Exodus chapter 20, verse 12 says, "Honor your mother and father so that you may live long in the land the Lord your God is giving you." And you taught me that repeatedly through your actions and love for umntwana. I know you've lost both your best friends, and I can never take away the pain of losing both your parents, but I promise you to be your shield, your shoulder to cry on, your strength, your hope, and most importantly, your daughter. You and I and our family will continue umntwana's legacy through the strength of our faith in God. And now, it is time for me to say my final goodbye to my hero. As I would say every night to you while you were in hospital, good night, Ndabezitha. Usale nomusa. Umntwana sizombona kusasa. Sheng.
His Excellency, the President, and all distinguished guests. Engikufundile kumntwana inhlonipho, ukubekezela, nenkonzo yokuthethelela. Umntwana ubehlonipha ngisho ingane encane. Even nathi abazukulu ubesihlonipha. Ngisho simkhothamela kuzwe yena sethi Sheng. Noma mhlambe umuthi uyaguqa mhlambe mesidla athi Sheng ehlala lana. Umntwana was not like any other people that we know. He was one of the kind. Ube nothando, nozwelo, always mangalisayo. Umntwana ubesithanda nathi simthanda. Ngisho ematasa kangakanani ngenxa yomsebenzi. Kodwa umntwana ubehleze esicosha isikhathi sokuthi azohlala naye nathi sinjengomndeni wakhe njengabazukulu. Sikhumbula leyo hagi leyo noma mase siqabula lapha ehlathini, and sometimes singabazukulu besike sikhulume mase siqedile ethi intshebe yakhe bisihlaba kanjani, then we laugh about it. Umntwana umfundise ukwesaba uNkulunkulu. My grandfather ubeneqiniso esitshela futhi iqiniso elimela iqiniso umntwana. regardless of the situation that he was in, ubeyindoda ongayethemba. Sheng Sokalisa, ngiyathokoza ngokungifundisa ukwesaba uNkulunkulu nokusisondeza kuJesu through your faith. Shenge, siyathokoza ngendlela osikhulise ngayo, siyathokoza ngakho konke okuhle senzele khona. Ilokhu ngakho konke lokho osenzele khona, kithi ubuyisibonele esihle. Shenge sokukhumbula sonke, sokukhumbula futhi sohlezi sikuthanda. Ubuhlungu esibuzwayo njengomndeni abuchazeki neze, abuchazeki. Njengomndeni wakho inhliziyo ziyaqaqamba, zibhlungu, kodwa angeke ngize ngikhohle ukubonga uNkulunkulu ngesipho asiphe sona ngokusibusisa ngeminyaka emingaka unathi. Kubazali bethu, umntwana Phumzile, umntwana Maphikelele, umntwana Ntsana, ngithi phephisa. Nakini bobhuti bami nosisi bami, ngithi phephisane. Nakuwo wonke nje umuntu omthintile umntwana ngempilo, kubo bonke bebethi baba kuye, nesizwe sonke noZulu wonke. Okubalekile njengamanje singumndeni ukuthi sibambane sonke, sibheke kuNkulunkulu, sithembe uJesu ngakho konke ngoba uyena wonke onecebo ngeimpilo zethu. Shame.
I stand before you today, the member of a family in grief and a country in mourning. We are all united not only in our desire to pay our respects to His Excellency, but rather in our need to do so. For such was His extraordinary appeal that the thousands of people taking part in this service via television, radio, and some who've never actually met him feel that they too lost someone close to them in the early hours of Saturday morning. It is a more remarkable tribute to Umntwana that I can ever hope to offer him today. Prince Buthelezi was the very essence of compassion, of spirituality, of style, of dedication. All over the world, he was a symbol of selfless humanity, a guardian of liberty, a very Zulu man who transcended nationality, someone with a natural nobility, who was classless and who proved over the years that he needed no royal title to continue to generate his particular kind of magic. Today is our chance to say thank you for the way you brightened our lives. Even though I spent the longest time with you, regardless of however long the time was spent with you, we will always feel cheated that you were taken, and yet we must learn to be grateful that you came along at all. We will always, only now that you are gone, do we truly appreciate what we are now without you. And we can only hope that life without you will be very difficult. We have all despaired at our loss over the past week, and only the strength of the message you gave us through your years of giving has afforded us strength to move forward. There is a temptation to rush to immortalize your memory. There is no need to do so. You stand tall enough as a human of unique qualities, not needing to be seen as a saint. I appreciated the core of your being, your wonderful sense of humor, with a laugh that bent you double. Your joyful life transmitted wherever you took your smile and the sparkle in your unforgettable eyes, your boundless energy which you could barely contain. But your greatest gift was your intuition. It was a gift you used wisely. This is what underpinned all your other wonderful attributes. And now we've come to another truth about you. For all the status, the fame, the applause, Umntwana waphinde angene remained throughout a very insecure person at heart, almost childlike in his desire to do good for others. The world sensed this part of his character and cherished him for his vulnerability, whilst admiring him for his honesty. Sheng.
Sheng. Sheng. Sogalisa. Sanbona nonke ngiyabingelela. In memory of my dear grandfather, a prominent politician, a Zulu leader, a father, a grandfather, a great-grandfather, I want to acknowledge the relationship we shared. As a young child, he provided for my needs and served as a significant influence on my knowledge of my culture and becoming the artist I am today, rapping in Zulu. I remember him singing with me in the car and also encouraging me on my path after I'd established myself as a musician. He would say I had the gift of music and foresight like his mom, Princess Makoko. After I lost my mother and father, he and my grandmother played an important role in filling the void. Manje. But perhaps because I've experienced it first, I'll know how to be there for my family who now are yet to learn what it feels like to be an orphan. Though time brought its share of differences, I appreciate the pivotal role he played in my life and the Zulu community at large. People, just like our bonds, are multifaceted and connections can be equally complex. I acknowledge the pain and hurt members of our community experienced during the turbulent years of the 80s, a period marked by violence and tragedy. My hope is that we can reflect on his legacy with a sense of nuance and understanding, acknowledging both the positive and challenging aspects of his life's work. I feel proud of the work he's done together with Nelson Mandela to liberate South Africa, bringing birth to a multicultural nation. Had their differences not been reconciled, we'd still be living in apartheid South Africa. In honoring his memory, I've committed to continuing my artistic journey, drawing inspiration from my Zulu heritage, while striving to create a positive impact in my own way. To my aunts and uncles, may you be blessed with the gift of unity. Unity is the only thing that will hold this family together. When I asked Umntwana as a young girl, what would you like to be written on your epitaph? He said to me, a man who lived by his convictions. Looking back now, I see why he said that. When a man is known to have no unsettled convictions of his own, he cannot convict other people. Ending this, I'd like to recite this poem. Don't stand at my grave and weep. I am not there. I did not sleep. I am the thousand winds that blow. I am the glistening spark in the snow. I am the sunlight on ripened grain. I'm the sunlight on ripened grain. When you awaken in the morning hush, I am that swift, uplifting rush of quiet birds in circled flight. I am the soft stars that shine at night. So don't stand at my grave and cry. I am not there. I did not die. Sheng. Sheng. Sogalisa.
His Excellency the President and all distinguished guests. Many of you will be familiar with the great entomologist and historian, David Rattray. He was held in high regard the world over as he told the stories of the Anglo-Zulu War and our triumphs at Isandlwana with such beauty, dignity, and respect. He was loved by our grandfather for his contribution to Zulu culture and its preservation. With Mr. Rattray's passing in 2007, our grandfather said a spear had fallen in the Zulu nation. Umntwana always had a way with words. 16 years later, we echo them. A great tree has fallen in this proud Zulu nation. Umntwana loved his grandchildren beyond measure, and we loved him dearly too. He was a pillar not only of our family, but of the democratic dispensation we are all a part of today. Umntwana was a giver. That was his love language. He had an eye for gifts and was amazingly attuned to the taste of his loved ones. His grandchildren, in turn, were faced with the annual headache at Christmas time. What gift do you get for the man who has every possible thing? We soon learned, however, that more than any material thing, Umntwana valued time with his family. Nothing made him happier than to be with us, and of course to pass down his wisdom and knowledge at any given moment. We learned so much about the value of listening, patience, and respect, particularly for our elders and traditional customs, among other things. Renowned for his esteemed roles in so many different spaces, of equal renown was his sense of humor. In my teen years, when I would visit Kwapinangen, he would often say, "Please stand over there. You are being rude with this height of yours, grandson." That became the running joke every time I came home. In the past few days, it has been fitting that the prevailing memory I've had is of Umntwana laughing. Anyone close to him knows that boisterous, unmistakable laugh. You know when someone is laughing from the pit of their stomach with such joy. And there are many enduring images of him laughing this way, further proof of his love and warmth. That is a side of him many of us were privileged to enjoy, and it is how most South Africans will remember him. I do not care to explore the altogether different image that a few people have cultivated about our grandfather. Enough has been said this past week to discredit their lives.